Good Saturday morning, September 20th. Here, I'll show this so some of you can go nuts. So I should have turned it on earlier because, oh wait, there's a few over there. Because there was actually, I could actually see planes coming from the Syracuse airport and see the contrails behind them. But yeah, it's not going to rain for another 3 or 4 days, possibly. But I guess that should make it rain right now, right? I digress. So I'm going to leave that alone. But anyways, don't know if you can hear the buzzing bees in the background. It's race weekend up at the motocross track. Yeah. So anyways, there's a couple clips on my phone because I didn't have my GoPro with me that I'll have Barb put in right after this, where we started getting everything ready. So I got this in here because it didn't want to start good again. I can't believe that the batteries are junk after 3 years. Well, I can in today's world. But I thought I'd put the trickle charger on it. It's green, so it's good and charged now. But yeah, so we're slowly getting everything ready to roll here in another 10 days, 2 weeks, I'm guessing. Barb is sweeping off the new knife bar that we just pulled out. And we just pulled the old knife bar out. I forgot the GoPro, so I'm filming on my phone. So that's out, sitting on the floor over here. So we can change a few knives that need changing. And some of them are getting wore down, but there's a few that got chunks out of them and whatnot. So it was time to put the new one on. And the new one was very dusty, sitting in the carriage space that they give you when you buy a head, and they give you a new one goes sliding in there. So all right, gotta turn you off now so we can get it in. Well, we were on a roll, so we kept going. We got the cart hooked up, I got everything greased here. She just went to get the gator so we can back that son of a bitch up to the auger so I can grease that, because I can't reach and I'm not getting the ladder. So we got the other knife bar on the head. The head's back on the header cart, sitting over there, waiting to come over and get put away. Combine sitting down here somewhere for right now. Before we put that away, I made sure everything worked, checked all my settings were saved from last year, which means, yay, no computer issues to start with. So, all right, I'm gonna go grease this one. All right, so anyways, I'm just gonna dive right into things here on this video. So, you know, it's been 10 days now since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and whew, boy, the whole media thing is crazy. So I just heard yesterday, maybe some of you have heard a day or two before this, I don't know, but that Tyler Robinson, who's accused of shooting him, his father's name is Matthew Robinson. Do you remember how, like, on day one, the media come right out, you know, of course the left-leaning media, oh, you know, it was a MAGA family and all this stuff, and it how could it not be? His father was a retired 27-year veteran of the police force there. Yeah, well, apparently there's 2 Matthew Robinsons that live in that area. Yep, did you hear that one yet? Because I just heard it yesterday. Because that guy was like getting pounded by people around there. I don't mean physically, you know what I mean. Because that wasn't his father. Yes, his father's name was Matthew Robinson, but he wasn't the guy who was a 27-year retired police, you know, law enforcement veteran. How do you think that guy's life went for a week or whatever, with people, with the media rushing right to that, oh, his father was, you know, 27-year veteran of the police force. Thank God they got that straightened out, and hopefully that guy didn't take too much abuse from people. But that's our media today, folks. Right now, they're all out there, along with the Chucky Schumers and the AOCs of the world, crying about Jimmy Kimmel getting shit canned from ABC. No, he got shit canned because all Jimmy Kimmel cared about was half the country. He didn't care about any of us with any conservative views, and his ratings went to shit because of it. So, just like Stephen Colbert, that's why his show is being canceled after this year. So, and Jimmy Kimmel came out and flat out lied. I can't remember his exact words, so this isn't a quote, but it was something to the, something about how the Trump MAGA people are trying to make this out to be everything that it's not, because this kid was obviously one of theirs or something like that. End, not quote, because like I said, I'm not going to look it up and read it and whatnot. So Jimmy, I guess you don't really care about the country being your audience. All you care about was one side being your audience. And then when your ratings went to hell, you wonder why they finally got rid of you. And now it's the left is, oh, free speech. Jimmy needs to sue them about free speech. It's funny how Jimmy was, and AOC and Chucky Schumer and all them were more than happy to take away any conservatives' free speech, And isn't that why Charlie Kirk isn't with us anymore? Because somebody didn't like his free speech? Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should call this segment Sitting on the Back of the Gator. I don't know. It's just comfortable sitting here. So, anyways, the whole, media thing. There's so many conspiracy theories out there. Somebody sent me a thing this morning on Instagram. I won't say who it was that sent it to me and whatnot. No, it wasn't Jimmy, by the way, because me and Jimmy sent each other a lot of things. But it was this video about, and I didn't even know this, but I guess it's true. Erica Franzve, or whatever her maiden name was. Franzve, I can't remember what exactly it was. She was Miss Arizona in 2012, and this video showed her, in her bikini, the bathing suit contest and all this. We obviously can tell looking at her she's a beautiful woman. But anyways, in this video that this person sent me, it covered the whole gambit. It talked about how Trump was always involved in the, beauty pageants, Miss America and all that. So there was the Trump connection, then there was she went to interview with Charlie for a job, and she told Charlie, you're not going to be my employer, you're going to be my boyfriend. Well, now obviously they got married, had kids, so there's that connection. Oh, let's see, what was some of the other connections? Let's see, the Trump and beauty pageants, Charlie Kirk. Oh shit, I just watched it. I just sent it to Jimmy too. He's probably already seen it. But yes, she was part of some ministry, and this ministry was accused of child trafficking and child trafficking to islands. That's all it said was islands. Let's see, Epstein Island. Isn't that? There's 5 things so far. Let's see what. And Israel. Israel got mentioned. So there's 6 things in this thing. It's all about getting views, folks. Okay, since ScrewTube decided I could be monetized on September 1st, I've made a few bucks. Stop and think about, I'm getting 15 to 25,000 views a video, roughly, in that neighborhood. Yes, I have a few that blow up now and then, like the tractor video. That's up to, I don't even know, last time I looked, 126,000 views now, something like that. All of these people on social media, the clickbait, the titles, to get people there for the views, this is their job. They're making tens of thousands of dollars a month, which, hey, capitalism, I don't have a problem with that. But then we wonder why there's so many conspiracy theories around. I mean, Candace Owens got, 5 million people? These people are pumping out 2, 3, 4 videos a week, at least, sometimes daily. The amount of money that they're making to stir the pot, in plain English, And I only bring Candace Owens up because I got my phone out. Let me blow this up so I can read it better. Okay, she put something up that from a person who in law enforcement, and this is about the Charlie Kirk, accused killer. It's just a couple paragraphs. I'm going to read it to you. I've been in law enforcement for 23 years and led an investigation division. I have obtained numerous cell phones in order to search for photos, text messages, websites visited, etc. I have never seen such a step-by-step text messaging admitting to a minor crime, let alone the most serious crime known to man, being murder. And we've all seen that they've released some of the text messages and whatnot. I am also trained in deception detection concerning written documents. We use these techniques to find truth and deception in witness statements. Based on my training and experience, I can tell you that these text messages were not written by the killer. These messages were clearly planted statements which were made to take away any doubt of who the killer may be. However, when they do this for a living, you understand that the statement and the other facts surrounding this case publicly presented did not take place. This has shaken my inner core as I realize in black and white that there are some very powerful connected people propagating this story, and I can only imagine why. Someone high up wanted Charlie dead, and they had the power to make it happen and cover it up. This should send chills down our spines. You think Candace Owens got quite a few views for that and made quite a bit of money on her multiple social media platforms, not just YouTube? Now, I'm not saying those texts did seem weird, but if you're a deranged individual at 22 years old who is deranged enough, mentally ill enough to kill somebody, we don't know how they're going to express themselves, I guess you could say. But is this guy saying that all the law enforcement working on this case right now, local, FBI, the state, whatever, they're all a bunch of dummies that aren't as smart as him? And do you get what I'm getting at? It goes back to my last video where I said, how about we just wait and see what happens? Yes, I have my opinions. I've expressed my opinions, and I've told you over and over, those are exactly what they are, my opinions. So everybody talks about how the kid jumped off the roof, but he didn't have a gun in his hand. If you blow it up, I can clearly see that black backpack is on his back. It looks like the blue towel that he supposedly had the gun wrapped in is in his other hand. And the one spot where he's actually like rolling off the roof to go down feet first, it looks like that towel stands straight up for a second and then comes down. How does a towel stand straight up unless there's something in it that's a hard object? Just my opinion. 10 other people can look at that same video and come up with a different opinion. But will we ever know the truth? I don't know. But the media lies their ass off to portray a certain agenda. And then everybody's got to come up with their conspiracy theories that this person did it, this person, they're framing this guy, and maybe we never will know the truth. But the fact that the general public, I said this to Jimmy, all these people that are pissed off that why aren't we getting the information that we need? Oh, I don't know, because it's a murder trial? Since when it hasn't even made it to court yet. Since when do we try it in the public first? There's a good way of a person, if they are actually the one who did it and are guilty, to get off by, if they have a good lawyer, by all of this shit being put out in the public before it even makes it to a courtroom. I don't know. Sit back and wait and let's see what happens. I mean, I've heard they've talked about opening the courtroom up to cameras and all that. That would be great. Then everybody would be able to see all of the evidence. But to think you're supposed to see it in the general public before it even makes it into a courtroom, this is for more than a hat rack. I mean, that one blows my mind. But I don't know. Got a new pair of work boots too. They're from Ortho Feet. So far they feel pretty comfortable. This is the first morning that I wore them because they just showed up yesterday. But walking around, I like them. They came with an arch support in them. It said try it with them in and without. And I don't know, they're these weird looking things here that go in the shoe, one on each side or each shoe. No, I tried that this morning when I was walking and I didn't like them at all. That made my feet hurt. So, but anyways, I'm gonna end this video. So here's your one more thing. Push on the Grumpy Farmer Apparel link, get your Grumpy Farmer Apparel. But I think it was Jimmy that sent me a thing. Yeah, it was Jimmy, another podcaster. What the hell was his name? I had never heard of him before. Nick Fuentes. Don't mistake that with that. I think the guy's name is Nick Freitas, the guy that's on the Virginia State Legislature. This guy's name was Nick Fuentes, who came out like a couple days ago, whatever, about a week after Charlie's assassination, and said, and he had Candace Owen, which I like Candace Owen, but part of me doesn't like any of them anymore because, like I said, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars a year to do this stuff, to put out stuff that gets views in plain English. That's all it is. They get paid for their views. But anyways, this guy put out a thing that, like I said, a week after Charlie's assassination, that Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu offered Charlie $150 million to speak even nicer about Israel than what Charlie has pretty much always done. Charlie didn't always agree with everything, but he was a supporter of Israel. But Charlie turned him down. A $150 million donation to Turning Point, I guess it was. Have you heard anything, Erica, saying this? Now, I don't know if it's true or false. If it eventually comes out that it's true, okay. But until it does, why have we never heard about it until a week after what happened to Charlie? I don't know, because that's pretty sensational, especially for the side, or the ones out there that all think somehow Israel killed him. But, and again, I'm not defending everything Israel does, but I made my peace with that in the last video, where I stand. But timing, why? Why a week after this all of a sudden comes out? And, you know, Candace Owens says that it's true too. How come Erica Kirk hasn't said it's true? How come no one else other than these two people apparently are saying it's true? I don't know, folks. But the conspiracy theories in the last 10 days, like I said, it's the 20th of September right now. In the last 10 days since he was shot and killed is just mind-numbing. And if you're one of them people that just clicks on every one of them and you're hanging on tight to the words of every one of these people, just remember one thing. Because like I said, since ScrewTube decided to monetize me the 1st of September, and it's funny because I never could be before because I had harmful content that was, how did they word it? I got the picture of the email. Harmful content, and I discussed controversial issues that was harmful to my viewers. What do all these podcasters do? On both the left and right, I mean. And at the minuscule little, you know, level I am, as far as making a couple bucks now, like I said, I now know pretty much these people are making boatloads of money. And it's to sit behind a microphone and stir the pot. Plain English. So we'll see you in the next one. All right, I'm going to give you a quick second more thing because I just thought of this. Talking about Jimmy Kimmel and whatnot. That, what was his name? Dowd was his last name. I can't remember his first name, but the dude that worked for, I think it was CNN or MSNBC that got fired. He's all upset that no one's talking about him and his First Amendment rights. You know, Chuck E. Schumer and AOC defending Jimmy Kimmel. That was the guy who said, well, maybe it was one of his Charlie's right-wing supporters that was firing off a gun in celebration. Wow. Okay. And then the other one that I just saw yesterday that I didn't realize, because I haven't heard anything from Montel Williams in years, but I think he needs to crawl back in whatever hole he just came out of. But he was on some CNN show where he was making it out to be a love story, because, you know, that Tyler Robinson, the accused shooter, was living with his roommate, who was not only a furry, you know, liked to dress up in an animal costume, but was also he wanting to become a she, I guess. And Montel Williams made it out to be, it was a love story. Yeah, Tyler Robinson did it to defend his lover. There's the media. That's why I can't stand the media. Actually going to give you a quick, I guess this would be a third more thing. So I've always appreciated everything that everybody's ever sent us, you know, flags, whatnot, my wooden signs there. I mean, I can't even list everything that everybody sent us. The buddy picture, the safety chains, got one on that grain cart right there right now. But this past week on Thursday, like I said, today's Saturday, a follower from down in Pennsylvania, I won't say exactly where, and I'm not going to use his full name, we're going to call him Dave, who's a retired chiropractor, came up here with his portable folding chiropractic table. For those of you who've been to a chiropractor, you know what I'm talking about. Put it right here on the shop floor and gave Barb and I the most awesome adjustment. I mean, it was awesome. So, Dave, yeah. And yesterday, Friday, I had my last golf tournament that I was going to be in this year, and I hit the shit out of the ball. The best I've played golf all year. So, yeah, that was awesome, Dave, to have you come up and give us an adjustment. So, because I don't ask anybody for anything of any of you followers, other than, you know, click on the Grumpy Farmer Apparel link. If you want to get a shirt or a sweatshirt, fine. If not, whatever. But I appreciate everyone who's ever sent us anything and whatnot. So, but that was very unexpected and very awesome.